The Allied Rapid Reaction Corps is training to head up NATO's response to a world crisis. The UK-based headquarters goes on 48 hours' notice next year to head up the NATO response force. And an exercise is underway in Cornwall which will judge whether or not they're ready. Will Inglis reports.
The headquarters Allied Rapid Reaction Corps is designed to deploy to trouble spots worldwide within hours. In this tented city, the latest technology is helping the ARRC, as it's known, simulate a response to a major crisis.
The scenario is that the ARRC headquarters and all of this high-tech equipment has been sent to the aid of a NATO member state, in this case Estonia, which has come under threat from a fictional neighbour. It's great preparation for the ARRC's tour on the NATO response force next year. It's a highly complex scenario and a world away from Afghanistan.
As we build in the scenario, things like a terrorist organization begin to conduct activities on this NATO country that we have to deal with. They even get hold of some spectacular munitions that make us have to react in a certain way.
It's exactly the kind of situation the ARRC could face if it deploys next year.
The scenario is a challenging one because we are operating inside a NATO country, and so some of the things that you would normally do without second thought you can't do here. And that's certainly providing quite a bit of a challenge for our legal staff, the policy advisors, and also our targeteers. So we're trying to work through those with our higher headquarters, and actually they're quite interesting problems because they're not things that people have thought about actually as they put together the exercise.
The Ops Centre is the beating heart of the ARRC, where information is sifted and analysed.
I'm effectively the conductor of an orchestra in front of me, and these guys have to be constantly monitoring all those sources of information, and it can be a real challenge, particularly with all the social media that you now see out there as well.
The ARRC is UK-led, but truly multinational, drawing in officers from 15 other nations. All have come to Cold War Air Base RAF St Morgan for exercise Noble Ledger. After narrowly escaping closure, St Morgan is now the perfect venue for this kind of training.
We're blessed here at RAF St Morgan with a large bit of real estate. Obviously we don't have the airfield anymore, and I think in the public's imagination losing the aeroplanes does sort of indicate that we've gone, but clearly we haven't. So the benefits I think are huge, and I know speaking to ARRC colleagues they're very clear that we're just far enough, if you like, to give them the opportunity to train in terms of convoy drills and such like, and also the whole process of being integrated and absorbed into another establishment is very useful.
Keeping the lights on and communications live in a rapidly deployable headquarters is no mean feat, involving mile after mile of cabling.
The tented city, which is now home to the ARRC headquarters, was thrown up in a matter of weeks by soldiers from the ARRC Support Battalion, many of them fresh from Olympic security duties. But relentless as the last few weeks have been for many of those soldiers, it's as nothing compared to 2013, with the ARRC on just 48 hours' notice to move.
The ARRC only has a limited force of its own for force protection and no more. The teeth in any operation next year will be provided by 16 Air Assault Brigade, training alongside the ARRC.
Well, I think it's hugely useful for us because we're part of the NATO response force going into next year, which we assume on January the 1st. We're at high readiness the whole time, so R2, 5 days notice to move to go anywhere in the world in support of British interests. So having the chance to work with the ARRC as our sort of higher headquarters, who we would deploy alongside, is invaluable.
Back in the ops room, there's no hint this is an exercise, because in a few months' time, it could all be happening for real.
There are 7 potential tasks that we might go to conduct, from evacuation type operations, disaster relief, all the way to forced entry. So the range is big, and that means that the training has to be pretty expansive as well.
That means that once the exercise is over, the hard work will just be starting. Will Inglis, Forces News at RAF St Morgan.